Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the vlog. Today I actually have an exciting upgrade for the chopper bobber build. Yes, I just had to change one more thing on it. It's never over, I have to admit. It's always like something that I feel like, oh, I could make that look a little bit better, but I actually wanted to change the configuration of the rear end of the chopper bobber build. Basically what's happening is I'm switching from a solo to a passenger and obviously driver setup. So reason being is just because I could ride my girlfriend around, but also to have my bag and everything a little bit more upright on the bike versus having it so close to the fender, which the tire ate away at my bag one time when I was on a trip. So I was like, I really have to switch the setup and add a plate to the sissy bar, which helped a little bit, but still had a little bit of a gap underneath. I'll show you guys later in a bit what I'm talking about. But I bought a new fender that's much longer and looks kind of like the stock size, and a king queen seat. So bringing back like that 80s 90s setup on the '08 chopper bobber build. So let's get to it. All right, so this is the seat here. This is configured specifically for a kind of like a soft tail setup, which this is what it was originally, was a soft tail, and I made it a hard tail. But instead of a hard rigid frame, which would be like a V, this is configured for basically like a, if you can kind of follow like the frame rail line, it goes down like that and stops there, but then there's another part that goes straight down to the bottom part of the swing arms. So this is like a soft tail setup on the newer Sportsters, whereas like the old choppers, it was just like a straight rigid frame going straight down and making like a V and then going straight across. So with that setup, the hard rigid frame setup, you would see more of an arch on the seat. But because of this, the frame setup on this, thankfully Sully Customs, this is the brand of the seat, is Sully Customs. They made one where it works for like the '08 and up Sportsters, and that is having this part not as arched as it would be on a rigid frame. So you still have like the mounting in the back here, and then for the front, it would be slipping right underneath the gas tank. So right in there. So really excited about the setup. I did have to send the fender to paint, which is sitting right there. So freshly painted fender, and I'm really excited to put it on. And I also had to get a new, actually brought this back, a lowering bracket. Many videos ago, I used to run this on my old setup on this chopper build. Back then it wasn't really a chopper, it was just like a normal Sportster look. But I ran this with the springs and it worked perfectly well. It was only like $20 on Amazon. But I sold it and then I brought this back. So reason being is for my sissy bar that I will show you guys in a second how I'm gonna be mocking that up. So for now, I am going to basically throw the fender on here, throw the seat on right on top of it, and then the last resort, which is putting the sissy bar right behind the seat and throwing the passenger pegs back on. So I'm gonna update you guys on how all that looks and show you guys the end result. Okay, so I got the rear fender on, looking really fresh, really good. Just got these on as well. So basically I had these guys repainted already, because basically there was like a mark here from the old seat, the solo seat that I had. So I figured while I was getting this painted, to have these repainted too, as well as my old bobber fender, which I'm gonna be posting for sale along with this seat. Yeah, I figured I'd have everything repainted all at once. But I got the taillight mounted, fender is all secure. Now I'm gonna be putting the new seat on and tightening the bolts from underneath for the back side of the seat. And then the next thing is basically to drop this strut all the way down, or I should say the whole bike is gonna go down, and then put the bolt through these guys as well as the license plate, and see, I guess, where the sissy bar is gonna have to sit, whether it's gonna be this hole, or this hole. So good thing all the fresh hardware is provided for this lowering kit that I'm gonna be using. So pretty excited, guys. It's looking really good. All right, update to the vlog. So more or less, this is how it's gonna look. Let me show you the quick details, what I had to do here. So basically, again, this is the lowering bracket. I have this side onto the main part of the bike. This is the strut, obviously, the hard strut. And this is pretty much supporting the entire rear end of the bike, so it doesn't slip down any lower. I have it on the first setting of this bracket for the sissy bar, so literally perfect. I am so glad I could literally just buy this instead of, you know, making one, all for $20. And all I had to do was just put it on one of the holes, the preset holes, and it lines up so nicely to the seat. So that's exactly what I was going for. The seat can move, which is completely fine, and this moves a little bit too, but obviously when I'm sitting down it won't be a problem, and if I have a bag, or, you know, or a passenger seat, it'll be fine. But I wanted some gap here, which is perfect, because when I wrap my bag with a bungee cord or ratchet strap, it has some gap here to, you know, latch onto. Instead, if this was like this, for example, touching the seat, then there's no way for the arch of the bungee or ratchet strap to be able to go and grab all the way around the sissy bar. So this is literally perfect. All I have to do now is rotate this and mount this, torque this to spec, which is about 65 foot-pounds. And I already torqued this one to 65 as well. So the very last thing is, once I do that, I still need a support here. So there's no holes there, unfortunately. It would have been super nice if I could have just used the pre-drilled ones here, but for how this is, I'm just gonna go ahead and drill a hole through the fender. You know, same diameter as this, obviously. Do a pilot hole first, and then the size of this diameter of the hole afterwards for the drill bit, and then just put the original hardware I have through. As far as spacing goes on here, between this to the fender, I have to see if the spacers that I used before will work, or if I have to get either smaller or larger spacers. I'm not really sure. Same thing on this side. Kind of looks like the gap is a little bit bigger here, but again, I'll have to find out what I have been using. But yeah, guys, I'm super stoked with how this looks. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna button up those couple things and just bring it out there and then see how it looks. Alright guys, well that is pretty much it for the build. Basically the Chopper Bobber build 2.0. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm gonna have it sit at, but again, I could just say that now and I end up changing something else later. That's just how it is with us car/bike enthusiasts. But I'm really happy with the setup. I just took it for a test spin. Feels really comfortable with that back support. Feels like I'm more in the center of the bike, if that kind of makes sense, with something pushing against me in the back. So I'm really excited to try it with the passenger and or with some sort of like backpack and just having it as like a backrest. I'm super stoked with that. But otherwise guys, that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions on what I did to adapt the King Queen seat with the new fender for the '08 and up Sportsters, and what I had to do with the sissy bar in order to make it work, please let me know and comment down below, and I will try my best to answer you guys' questions. Otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it. I'll catch you guys later, and I will keep you guys updated as always. See ya.